Hello guys, today we're going to check and discuss about the effects of the phone to users. Introduction. Environment represents the totality of physical, chemical, biological, behavioral, and socio-economic factor or conditions that constitute to the external mood surrounding the human organism. Lifestyle, cosmetics, food intake, domestic appliances, modem gadgets, cell phone and laptops, smoking, stress, and alcohol. All of these are lifestyles which influence health of individual. Effect of phone is depend on using of cellular phones, and cell phones are dangerous. The effect of electromagnetic field on human health are explained well in this video. Typical source of electromagnetic fields is explained in this graph. You can see here, and you can check this graph very well, and you can get point here. I'm going to explain it later, but in short, all frequencies and how they affect health of human being. Even radio frequency affects the health of human being. I'm going to explain about this history, but let us check on important ones. Cell phone biological studies. It was done by the time that how the cell phone affect the health of individual. You cannot disconnect engineers who made these phones, industry, biomedical scientists, and the public, because they have to depend to each other so that they can protect public health. Cell phone signals are weak, invisible, and fast, radiating in all directions at low power radio frequency. It cannot hit human tissue. If RFR cannot induce heat, then it cannot cause any other problem, but it violates the basic law of physics. All energy is conserved, then question arises there. If RFR energy is not transformed in the heat, then it must have transformed into potential energy, kinetic energy, and chemical energy. So this is how radiations can be explained. There is ionized radiation and non-ionized radiation. So phone's radiation is non-ionized radiation. Even computers radiation is none. It has effects to human being, but it's not very terrible effects, but it can affect, and we are going to check as we go with this video. Continue to watch. So as you can see, it affects even human being and even men's semen's and women's reproductive system, this electromagnetic wave. And ionizing radiation, it comes from X-ray, it comes from gamma rays and other nuclears. Today, let us discuss about this non-ionizing radiation. Let us start with these biological effects of phones and computers and electronic devices. Effects are measurable responses to a stimulus or to change in environment, and are not necessarily harmful to our health. But health hazard. changes that are irreversible and stress the system for long period of time. Electromagnetic radiation, it can be in two forms, thermal and athermal. Thermal effect of mobile radiation. The specific energy absorption rate is measured in W/kilograms. The measurement is important when assessing possible health effect. Microwave absorbed by the body are converted to heat. The amount of heat produced is related to the amount of energy deposited. Thermal effect mechanism. You can see here in the illustration. An effect of microwave radiation is dielectric heating, in which any dielectric material, living tissue, is heated by rotation of polar molecules induced by the electromagnetic field. In case of person using the cell phone, most of heating effect will occur at the surface of the head and causing its temperature to increase by a fraction of degree. In this case, the level of temperature increase is an order of magnitude less than obtained during the exposure of the head to the direct sunlight. The brain blood circulation is capable of disposing of excess heat by increasing local blood flow. Thermal effect, possible mechanism. Here, radio frequency radiation. This is tissue. So, normal defense response is here to defend these radiations. And this inside is active cells and tissue. So, thermoreceptors molecular in a cell may activate cascade of 2 or 3 messenger system gene expression and upregulation of heat shock proteins. Chronic expression of heat shock proteins may promote a thermal effect of mobile radiation. A thermal absorbed at a molecular level and manifest change in vibration energy and the molecular product producing various of molecule transformation and alteration. Microwave radiation, the community hidden hazard, and so on. It has been argued that a thermal effect could be reinterpreted as normal cellular response to an increase in temperature. It also has been hypothesized that hormonal control of the body function may be affected. You remember I told you about reproductive system. Here we are going to see. In laboratory, effect of bioenergy of living system. Chromosome defect have arisen in small number of my mobile network engineers. So you can see here effect on chronic exposure and the effect on short-term exposure. I'm going to explain about this illustration soon. A thermal effect of mobile radiation. Absorbed at a molecular level and manifest change in the vibration energy of the molecule, producing various of molecular transformation and the alteration. Microwave radiation, the community, hidden hazard, Barton Books published this one, the one who wrote this. So illness have potential links to mobile phone radiation, breakdown of brain barrier, increase of risk of eyes cancer, increase of ear tumors, increase of risk of other cancers. So illnesses that have potential links to phone radiation: infertility, genotoxic effect, cancer, Parkinson's, hearing impairment, electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome. There is a scenario here. I'm not going to talk about it. There are factors which influence the effect of electromagnetic radiations, but I'm not going to talk about them. So, whenever these radiations meet with human body, it can cause tumors, cancers, childhood leukemia, and can cause effect of nervous system. Possible change due to this radiation is blood-brain barrier permeability, brain electrical activity, and the release of neurotransmitter in melatonin secretion, retina, iris, and cornea endothelium, in behavioral, cognitive, neurochemical, and neuroeffect in human and animals. Effect of nervous system. Concern on acoustic neuroma, brain tumors of salivary gland, impairment in short-term memory, headache, sleep disturbance, depression and tiredness, increase in agitation in combination with nervous exhaustion. Effect of nervous system. Fatigue, muscle weakness, reduced intellectual activity, absent-mindedness, inability to concentrate, increased sensitivity to external factors such as noise and battery, and these attack of giddiness, unstable gait, cold hand and legs, heart problems, breathing problem, reactive thyroid, irregular menstrual cycle. Effect of immune system. It affects immune system. Cardiovascular function are impaired. So it depends on stress, level of the user, age of the user, cognitive frequency, amount of the radiation the man have been exposed to, criteria of heavy users, and so on for effect to occur. So health effect from mobile base station for those who located on the mobile base station. Study of healthy people living in vicinity mobile phone base station. It found significant healthy on people living within 300 meters of mobile phone base station. It is advisable that a mobile phone base station not to be sited closer than 300 meters to populations. Number 2, effect of global communication system radio frequency field on well-being and cognitive function of human subject and with without subjective complaints. The microwave syndrome, further aspect of Spanish study, increased incidence of cancer near to cell phone transmitter station. So these stations that should be located 300 meters from the place of living people. Inaction or police have potential risk of causing harm to public, to the environment, in absence of the scientific conservers, and that the action or policy is harmful, then the burden of the proof that it is not harmful for those taking an action and not on the victim of such action. Thank you very much. This is Ovita Television. Remember to subscribe.